Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a nice weekend. I thought I'd spend a few minutes today on Sunday talking about my current skincare regime because I haven't done that for a while, and also because the lighting today is absolutely terrible, natural light. The sky is absolutely leaden and has been all morning. I don't think it's going to get any better. So it's not brilliant for showing off the colours of any new makeup products. I have still got a few Chanel and Atelier Westman and some MAC products to show you, and also to go back to some of the things that I have now started using to say what I think about them. But as I say, the lighting isn't brilliant today. So we'll do that another day soon, I promise. But I have been trying to concentrate on my skin a little bit more recently. I'm a bit lazy with my skincare, or have become so during lockdown. You'd think it would be the opposite because we'd have more time. But to be honest, I've never felt that I have had more time in lockdown because work takes so much longer with the new ways that I have to work. And also, I don't know, not going out. There are a lot of days I don't wear makeup even though I'm on screen. And I've kind of got used to that. And I've also, I found my sleep has been quite disturbed as well. So I often fall asleep relatively early for me in the evening and then wake up again. And, I just haven't done my skincare properly. I don't know. So I don't want this to be a moan about COVID and lockdown because we're coming out of it now, it would seem. Whether permanently or not, who knows. But I want to kind of get my skin in action. And the other thing that kind of pointed up for me that I had been taking its relatively good behaviour for granted was, I think I mentioned when I went to the Lisa Eldridge pop-up store to try and explore why that foundation really wasn't working for me. I had a long consultation with one of their makeup artists who was really, really nice, and spent a long time kind of cleansing and conditioning my skin, and kind of suggesting that I needed to exfoliate more to make foundation sit better on my skin. I'm not entirely sure that the issues he found with my skin are the reasons for that particular foundation not working brilliantly for me, because other foundations did and still do. And I am going to, when I get time, talk about the Lisa Eldridge foundation again, because it's well, let's talk about that in another video. It's a strange one, I think. But undoubtedly, he had some tips for my skin, particularly that he advised exfoliating, not in the evening, which I'd been doing before my night creams, but in the morning, saying that the rich night treatments that you use really kind of can block the skin as well as treating. And so morning is the time to exfoliate using some form of glycolic acid, rather than the evening, which I was surprised about because I'd always understood, that was not a good idea when you were going to be going out basically in sunlight. Anyway, so I have been doing that, and I've noticed a change in my skin, definitely. Whether it's for the better or not, we'll wait and see. So I've got several kind of complete brand skincare regimes that I haven't quite finished. Barbara Sturm, I had a sample regime. It's not quite finished. Sunday Riley, which has been a long time favourite. I've got kind of full-size products on the go. But the stars of my new regime are the Victoria Beckham by Augustina Bada serum and moisturising primer, which I've been using for about a fortnight, fairly consistently. I forgot to put them on last night, but that's kind of a first. And then I've introduced 2 exfoliating washes by Pixie, simply because those were the only ones available straight after I'd had that consultation. And then various other products. The other advice I was given was to use a cleansing balm always to remove makeup, or generally as the first cleanse, which I have quite often done, but I have used micellar water as well. So what's the regime? Basically, at night, whether I've been wearing makeup or not, I am now using a cleansing balm, and it's the Emma Hardy Moringa cleansing balm, simply because I had a freebie with one of my gifts and with purchase, and it's one of these solidified, which pretty much turns to oil as you apply it, and it heats in your fingers and on the skin. This one has a lovely fragrance. I'm very happy with it. The guy at Lisa Eldridge said that the Body Shop does a perfectly good one, which would be a lot cheaper, obviously. Eve Lom I've used in the past, a lot more expensive, but very good. So there are lots of options out there, and it is a nice way of cleansing and then wiping off with a flannel or a muslin cloth. So I do that in the evening. Then a spritz of a tonic or booster. The important thing is that it shouldn't contain alcohol. The makeup artist thought that Chanel's Hydra Beauty Essence Mist did, which was a shame for me. But when I looked at the ingredients on the website, it doesn't. So I still use that, particularly in the morning when I have a spritz. The other one that I use that definitely doesn't contain alcohol is Liz Earle's Instant Boost Skin Tonic Spritzer. I like Liz Earle's products. I used to use them all a lot more, and I've consistently remained using this one, largely because of its lovely smell and the packaging, and it's a really good line. My mother still uses it fairly religiously. It's good for sensitive skins as well. And then I apply the serum, the Magic Serum. Okay, this range is ruinously expensive, but it does have pretty much universally good reviews that I've seen everywhere for it, although there aren't that many reviews, certainly on YouTube, very few. I'm not surprised at the price. This is a 30ml size, which is basically a trial size, and this is a trial size of the primer, although it's a reasonable size. And I got this as part of a set in a Christmas offer along with an eye mask. The serum, I couldn't work out how to get it out the first time I used it. I was shaking and shaking. Actually, this bit is kind of squeezy, and you basically tip it up and squeeze it out. You can see a bit of residue of the product. It's quite glutinous. I do find that it sinks into my skin a little too readily, and I need probably about 5 drops to cover both sides of my face, particularly the area around the cheeks, and the T-zone and my forehead. And you do that morning and evening. And then I was a bit puzzled what you used after it. Didn't come with very clear instructions. I had to go to a website somewhere, and they basically say that you use a moisturising primer instead of a moisturiser, which feels a little odd to me because I think a primer's for priming. And this one is as you would expect with a primer. It's quite like the one she had for Estee Lauder. So it's a lotion, quite liquidy. It does feel very comforting and nice on the skin, and it sinks in again, but it doesn't feel hugely moisturising. So sometimes I do use another moisturiser, and I haven't been going out a lot in the daytime to need an SPF. If I did, or it was a different time of year, I think I would go back to my favoured moisturiser with 30 SPF, so, you know, good enough for most of the year. Obviously not great sunline, which is the Shiseido Urban Environment UV Protection Cream. They don't make this anymore. I've got loads of backups. I can't keep them that long because of it being an SPF, although they are kept in the dark. But you need something like that, obviously, particularly when the weather gets a bit lighter here. So that's what I'm using morning and evening. So it's quite simple in a way. They're not different products at different times of day. And 2 weeks in, what can I say about it? What I can say is that my makeup is applying better. And by that, I mean my foundation isn't sticking as much in the enlarged pores around my nose and my chin area. Now, whether that's just down to the primer, which is a good primer, or whether that is an improvement because of the exfoliating, or generally to my skin as a result of the serum, it's too early to say, really. The reviews talk about the skin immediately looking more luminous once the serum is being used. I'm not sure I would go that far, although my skin does look, I would say, a little bit more plumped up, definitely in the morning, but nothing dramatic as yet. And I'm of a firm belief that you can't really see results from a change in the skin for at least 3 weeks, and often nearer to 6, simply because of, you know, that's how the skin renews itself. My skin is a little bit more red in the cheeks, particularly immediately after my regime, and I think that's probably down to using the exfoliants more often. I've got the Pixi Glow Mud Cleanser, which is glycolic acid and aloe vera, and I've got the Clarity Cleanser, which is salicylic acid and probiotics, but it does have some glycolic in it. I find this one possibly irritates a bit more than the other one, and I think that they may be the products that I will choose to change. The guy who did the advice at Lisa Eldridge that I keep going back to talking about recommended Mario Badescu, but he said it didn't really matter, you know, as long as it was a good glycolic acid cleanser was the key factor. So that's basically the regime. Some days I do still use the Guerlain Abiel Royale Youth Watery Oil, which generally I find goes on okay under makeup. And you can see I've been using this for a couple of months and it's lasting a lot better. I need less of it to kind of moisturise than the Victoria Beckham. And obviously I've got an eye makeup remover for the heavy duty mascara, etc., which is just a Sephora one. I also use some Chanel sample sizes. And I was missing an eye cream and I literally had no samples. So I have invested in the new Numero 1 range, has an eye cream. I've only been using this for less than a week because it only came about a week ago. I don't love that it's in a jar rather than a tube, but that seems to be common with eye creams. It's got the little protector. It's quite a viscous, watery almost cream. It feels very nice. It's supposed to particularly work for dark circles, I read, which is definitely my problem. You can see there. Feels quite thick for an eye cream. So we'll have to see how that goes. Eye creams can give me those little white spots if they're too thick, which I'm hoping this won't be. It's not fragranced, which obviously is good news. So that's the regime at the moment. I'm feeling quite pleased with myself for having a regime and not randomly using various products that I have crowding the shelves in my bathroom. And yeah, spending all that money on the Augustina Bader Victoria Beckham products tends to concentrate the mind into seeing whether they're really worth it. I haven't yet bought the Augustina Spada cream, the rich cream that is literally raved about by so many, including Bobby Brown, who says she doesn't need to wear makeup after buying that. Seemed to me that was quite a bold claim for a makeup artist who has a famous makeup range that she makes her living from to make. But there we are. Augustina Spada must be paying her a great deal of money. I haven't got round to trying that, but I won't rule out that I won't try it, because I do still feel that this regime, if it works, is missing a serious moisturiser, even though this is what you're supposed to use effectively as a moisturiser. So I'd be interested to know if any of the rest of you have tried the cream, the Augustina Spada cream, or indeed these Victoria Beckham skincare products. I know some of you have tried the makeup products, as I have. She does turn out good quality stuff. I'll give her that. And I will report back in a month or so. When at the rate I'm going, I'm going to have to start thinking about either changing the regime or stocking up again, and that will be painful on the purse. But if it works, it works. Increasingly, I think skincare is probably even more important than the old makeup, and certainly you need to have a decent canvas for the makeup not to look terrible on as you get older and your skin is less forgiving. So that's the theory anyway. So I hope you all have an excellent week. Keep safe and well, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye for now.